Uh, Good morning, happy Tuesday, everyone. Where do I even begin with my low? Okay, so in preparation for getting today's video ready, I was because I look at my notes and when my old videos like when we're doing what, and not only did I do this yesterday, but I did this a week ago as well. Because if you don't know what I do, I first post this video to Facebook, and the description I write on Facebook I keep for YouTube as well. I forgot to put that description on the YouTube video. And again, I not only did this yesterday, but I did this last week too, and the day after last Tuesday. I mean, is it really that big of a deal? Technically, no. But it sort of shows a lack of professionalism. Like, listen, I know I don't get that many views on YouTube. I understand that. You know, I'm not like a big YouTube guy. I probably totally understand that. But I actually have aspirations of wanting to, be better someday. And making mistakes like that, to me, feels like a step backwards. The one thing I can give myself credit for is, when the first time I screwed it up? Yeah, 3,117 days, and I messed that up. So, I guess I got farther than I thought. But, yeah. And I wish I could tell you that was the only part of my low, but there's more. Remember in yesterday's video when I was talking about yesterday's episode of Rick and Morty, there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't remember what it was. And, of course, that means I'll remember what it was after I upload the video. That's exactly what happened. And what's worse is I would like to talk about that now, but there's something else I want to talk about. Something that's actually a little more pressing. And I can't do either of those things today until I talk about this week's Hot Ones guest. So, unless the Hot Ones guest is someone I don't know, and therefore I can just segue into talking about one of the two things I want to talk about, I'm stuck until tomorrow. Actually, the one thing I do need to talk about today, I probably could do today along with the Hot Ones guest, since tomorrow's video is going to be a much more pressing subject. Where was I? Do I have any high at all? Well, I got to see my parents yesterday. That was a high, and my act of kindness was I held the door for some people, as well as I did someone a huge favor yesterday, and for all intents and purposes, I'm doing someone a favor today too, but I'll save that for tomorrow's act of kindness. So, first things first. We have the 25th First We Feast Hot Ones guest of 2026. Now, season 30 really should be coming to a close very soon. I think this might be the season finale of season 30. And depending on who the guest is, that just might be the case. So, without further ado, the 25th First We Feast Hot Ones guest of 2026 is... Oh, no way. Oh. This is Oh, great. Here's the thing. I know who both of them are, and there is a lot to talk about, but at the same time, yes, it's two people. And you know what? I think this really will be the season finale. Is it the season finale? Let's see if... never mind. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the season 30 finale. It's John Barenthal and Tom Holland. Yeah, the Punisher and Spider-Man. Well, here's the thing. If, for those of you who don't know, John Barenthal and Tom Holland is like this. And obviously, since they both play characters in the MCU, they're promoting Spider-Man Brand New Day, which they're both in. However, if you saw my video on me after watching The Odyssey, you know that John Barenthal and Tom Holland are also in The Odyssey. And, of course, there's... Seriously, like, John Barenthal and Tom Holland are like... When they're on screen together, like, their chemistry is undeniable. They are. Like a big brother, little brother type thing. I honestly can't wait to see what happens next with this week's episode of Hot Ones. And you know what? In a way, this does segue into something I want to talk about. But listen, John Barenthal, Tom Holland, they've both been on Hot Ones before. It's very clear that they're promoting either The Odyssey or Spider-Man Brand New Day. Or maybe both. Yeah. I'd be shocked if there's a new episode next week. This really, like, this is the sort of thing where it feels like a season finale for Hot Ones. It really does. I mean, yeah, they gotta be promoting Spider-Man Brand New Day. That is the only logical explanation of why they're both on Hot Ones. And it makes sense, they've both been on Hot Ones before. I mean, Tom Holland himself was the season finale once. I believe it was season... Shoot, I forget what season it was. But everyone made fun of Tom Holland for notoriously crying on Hot Ones. I didn't see it that way. I didn't think he was crying. I'll actually defend Tom Holland with that one. But yeah, they're either promoting The Odyssey, Spider-Man Brand New Day, or both. And as someone who saw The Odyssey, I can genuinely tell you that. I mean, listen, I said in my Odyssey video, but John Barenthal and Tom Holland are great. I mean, again, great, now I want to talk about The Odyssey again. If any of the actors in The Odyssey were virtual unknowns before that movie, this would be a career-making movie. Luckily, they are well-known, and that's why they're both the Punisher and Spider-Man. And it's really great that it is these two guys, because it's the perfect segue to talk about into one of the two things I need to talk about. Because we finally got the trailer for Avengers Doomsday. Seriously, for months, and I do mean months, there have been, AI videos. There have been, fan-made videos. All sorts of crazy stuff that you could already tell it's fake. But this is nothing fake here. Nothing fan-made. No AI bullshit. This was the real deal. Granted, and I watched Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, shout out to Doug Walker, talk about this when I saw his short on the thoughts for Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, technically it really is more like a much bigger and expanded teaser trailer where it shows all the characters in the movie doing really cool stuff, which is really cool. All those things in the trailer are really cool. But yeah, honestly, like, full stop. Avengers Doomsday is supposed to be that big movie that comes out the end of the year. Yeah, they could have probably pushed for, an earlier release. In fact, this is an earlier release. We're supposed to get it in like 2027 or something. But like, the last big hurrah before 2026 is over, barring anything, Oscar related. Like, this is it. And honestly, the only real thing we had to go on was, like, if you look on YouTube, Marvel's official YouTube site legit has a countdown to when Doomsday, quote unquote, is, which is December 18th of this year. And they bring back that the Doomsday clock at the end of the trailer, because of course they do. But this was the real deal, true blue, no BS trailer. And yeah, it feels good to finally be able to say that we have a trailer for this now. Something that's not AI or fan made. Where do I even start? I guess I'm not really spoiling anything if I talk about the trailer, I guess. But it's very clear that they're going to make Thor that figurehead of, he's the guy who's going to unite, the new Avengers, the old Avengers, and the X-Men. Which, it makes sense. Thor is probably the last one from the old Avengers who, hasn't had some sort of conclusion or sadly has passed away. And Chris Hemsworth, so far when I saw Chris Hemsworth in the trailer, he was really good. But yeah, let's get into the main reason why we want to see this movie. Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. We don't really see much of him outside the fact that, actually, at least we hear Dr. Doom get to be able to say some words. And if you don't know, Victor Von Doom, or Dr. Doom, is from a fictional country called Latveria, who, I guess the accent is supposed to be like Eastern European, Russian type thing. So, yes, he is speaking with an accent. And it's very clear that they're promoting the idea that another incursion is going to happen. Where, if you don't know, an incursion happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, where if multiple universes collide, bad things happen. And it looks like that's going to happen again. I say one or multiple universes. 2 or more universes collide together is what it is. And yeah, it shows Thor trying to hit Dr. Doom with, Stormbreaker, and Dr. Doom breaks with his 2 fingers, just like. So, yeah. And seeing something like, Gambit fighting Shang-Chi, Mystique transforming into Yelena, and basically 2 Florence Pughs fighting each other. Actually, shout out to the X-Men cast. Needless to say, it's always been a real treat to see Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen as Charles Xavier and Magneto, respectively. James Marsden as Cyclops in the Cyclops uniform from the 90s. That's great. And not to mention the legendary, lovely, and talented Rebecca Romijn as Mystique, transforming into Yelena. I mean, listen, I know that the MCU really hasn't been in the best place since probably Endgame, with some few shining moments here and there. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four first steps. You know, there have been some shining moments, but there's not as much hype as there was, you know, before 2019 when Avengers Endgame came out. I mean, granted, what happened with Jonathan Majors, while tragic, really did set a few things back. If you don't know, Jonathan Majors played a Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and he got himself into some trouble, and so Marvel had to scrap him. Hence why we have this movie now. Yeah, I would like to see what would have happened if Jonathan Majors was allowed to be Kang for the Kang Dynasty, which was the original plan. But you know what? Considering that all I've seen regarding Avengers Doomsday is nothing but fan-made stuff, AI, and or the Doomsday Clock, honestly, I think I would have been happy seeing virtually anything that was real. And needless to say, since I had low expectations going in, my expectations were not only met, but they were surpassed many times over. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Avengers Doomsday. But first things first, we gotta get to seeing John Bernthal and Tom Holland take on the Wings of Death. Hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe, YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm your homie. This video for you guys watch the show. Hopefully, you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to us, we're here to lend you his back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.